Have you ever found yourself at the very edge of your own story, thinking no one will believe it, but you tell it anyway, hoping it might matter to someone? That's how it all began for me. Standing by the rusty fence of the Whitmore K9 estate, sunlight piercing through the clouds, the whole place looming like a fortress in the Texas hills. They say the dogs bred here have more discipline than soldiers, but what everyone really whispers about is the one pen out back that no one dares approach. Max, that's the name that keeps everyone uneasy, a massive German shepherd, black and smoky gray, with eyes that seem to see all your darkest secrets. He never barked, just a low, rolling growl like distant thunder warning you to stay back. 3 trainers tried to break him in 6 months. 2 ended up in the ER, and the 3rd quit and moved away. Yet Whitmore, the reclusive billionaire owner, refused to put Max down or send him away. Most thought he was just stubborn or sentimental. But sometimes I'd catch a glimpse of an old photo in his office, a boy with a dog that looked just like Max, and I'd realize that's what grief looks like when it turns into hope. Then one morning, Whitmore gathered everyone, the trainers, guards, even kitchen staff watching from windows, and coldly announced there was $1 million waiting for anyone who could bring Max back. Not just obedience, but trust, the kind he once had with that boy. Nobody laughed or moved because deep down, we all knew it wasn't about the money. It was about holding on to the last piece of something good. Cut to the city, a whole different world. That's where Maya drifted at just 12 years old, another invisible shadow on the streets. She'd learned to disappear into crowds, sleep under bridges, and ask for help without making a sound. Her voice had faded into almost nothing, because when the world ignores you long enough, you stop speaking. She couldn't remember her parents clearly, only fragments like a half-forgotten song, the scent of cinnamon, and a soft jacket's weight. What she did know was hunger, cold nights, and how to make herself small and unseen. One afternoon, crouched near a gas station, she overheard some delivery drivers talking about a wild billionaire and his terrifying dog, $1 million reward for anyone who could tame the beast. Maya listened closely, not for the money, which she couldn't even imagine, but because the idea of a dog everyone called broken struck a chord deep inside. Maybe, she thought, maybe it needs someone like me. No map, no phone, no plan, just that name echoing in her mind. Whitmore K9 Estate. Before the city awoke the next morning, Maya set off, past parked cars, broken fences, and dying grass, asking strangers for directions and getting nothing but laughs, shrugs, or vague gestures toward the horizon. She kept moving, crossing train tracks, ducking under power lines, following winding roads until her feet blistered and her lips cracked from the sun. Twice she thought about turning back, but the towering gates finally came into view, wood and iron bars, cameras blinking like watchful eyes. She pressed her hand to the fence, whispered, "I made it." What happened after didn't matter. Every step had been hers alone, and that had to mean something. The first time she knocked, no one answered. Arms wrapped tight, she waited until a guard appeared, jaw square, sunglasses reflecting every freckle and scrape on her face. "What do you want, kid?" he grunted. "I heard about Max. I want to try," she said. He snorted and turned away. But Maya stayed, curling up beside the gate, sleeping with the coyotes howling nearby. The next day, same story. "Guard," says, "Go home." She replies, "I don't have one." By day 3, word spread. There's a kid who won't leave. Someone slipped her a sandwich. She savored every bite like it might vanish if she blinked. On the 4th morning, a different guard radioed in. "Sir, she's still here." Silence. "I'll be there in 10. Whitmore arrived then. Slow. Steps crunching gravel. A figure carved from stone. No introduction needed. Everyone knew him. Heavy coat. Unreadable eyes that made you want to confess just to escape their weight. He stopped. Stared at Maya. "You're the one who's been waiting." She nodded. "Why?" "Heard no one could reach Max. Maybe that's why I should try." He didn't blink. "He's not safe." "I know." "You think you can help?" "No. I just think maybe he doesn't need fixing. Maybe he just needs someone to stay." You ever feel a moment shift the air? That's how it was. Whitmore's face softening, old memories flickering behind his gaze. Be here at sunrise. One chance. Before dawn, Maya stood in the cold grass watching. Handlers leash Max. The dog was pure muscle and fury, straining and growling so deep it shook your bones. Maya didn't flinch. She knelt a few yards away, silent and still. Max lunged, chain rattling, dust swirling, but Maya waited, fearless, just present. After 10 tense minutes, Max stopped barking, eyes locking on her with something like confusion. She pulled out a half-eaten granola bar, placed it on the ground, and slowly moved her hand away. Max crept closer, chain taut, tension in the air thick enough to hear a pin drop. He took the bar and sat beside her, chest heaving. No growl, no snap. Just two lost souls sitting in the morning light, neither demanding anything. Everyone held their breath. Whitmore stepped forward, face hard but eyes softer now. "You did it," he said, voice rough. "No one's ever gotten close. The $1 million is yours?" Maya shook her head, looking first at Max, then at Whitmore. "I don't want the money. I want a room, real room, 2 meals a day, and to go to school. That's all." Silence fell over the yard. Whitmore studied her like he was seeing her for the first time. "That's all?" She nodded. He exhaled slowly. "You'll live in the main house? Eat with me. Start school tomorrow." Maya nodded. "Thank you." For the first time, Whitmore placed a gentle hand on her shoulder, like he was afraid she'd vanish. "You don't know what you've done. Not just for Max, for me too." That night, Maya finally gets her first real bed, sheets soft as clouds, a pillow that cradles her head, and the quiet the world hadn't given her in a long time. Outside her door, Max lies watchful, guarding her against the darkness. Once, neither of them needs to be afraid. Upstairs, Whitmore sits alone, clutching that old photo, whispering to himself, he didn't fix him. She just reminded him he was never broken. The next morning, Maya walks barefoot beside Whitmore to breakfast, Max trailing peacefully behind them. No one bats an eye. By the end of the week, she's wearing a school uniform and carrying a lunch packed by a billionaire. Max waits at the gate every afternoon, tail wagging, his eyes softer than anyone ever imagined. Word spreads through town about the girl who tamed the untamable dog. Most people just shake their heads and say some things money can't buy. Yeah, that happened. But here's the real question. Is it really about the money, the dog, the old man, or the girl with nothing left to lose? Or is it about finding a place to belong, even if only for a moment? You tell me. Because sometimes changing a life means someone finally sees you and chooses to stay. So what do you think? Was justice done, or did everyone just get lucky? Would you have taken the money or picked something that felt like home? Let's hear it. Because stories like this don't end until we decide what comes next.